Top 10 New Facts About Saudi Arabia. Hi, healthy RN ways here. Being expat in Saudi Arabia, a lot have changed over the years. Saudi Arabia is an overall safe country with low crime rates, especially against foreigners. Tourists and businessmen and women traveling solo are unlikely to encounter any problems during their time in the kingdom and should visit with confidence. Public display of affection is not allowed in Saudi Arabia. Women should cover shoulders and knees in public. Public displays of affection are not welcomed by local culture and visitors should not indulge in it. Saudi Arabia was unique in being the only country in the world where women were forbidden to drive motor vehicles. On September 2017, King Salman issued an order to allow women to drive in Saudi Arabia, with new guidelines to be created and implemented by June 2018. Here are the famous cities in Saudi both by local and expatriates, if you plan to visit Saudi as it opens recently to tourists around the world. 1. Holy site. For many Muslims around the world, an opportunity to visit Makkah is the ultimate blessing. This is the holiest city in Islam, the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad and the city where the Quran was first revealed to him. It's also a fixture in observant Muslims' daily lives, as they orient themselves toward Makkah to pray 5 times a day. The annual Hajj pilgrimage to the city is one of the 5 pillars of the faith, but millions of people journey to the city year-round to perform the shorter Umrah pilgrimage as well. The vast majority of the visitors are pilgrims who spend as much time as possible within the opulent complex of the Grand Mosque, which is a lively hive of activity at all hours of the day. But if you have time to spare once you've completed the required steps of the Umrah, the historic city has much to offer to complement your understanding of the region and the faith itself, from museums to landmarks that were backdrops to some of the most pivotal moments of Islam's earliest days. A. Masjid al-Haram. At Makkah's heart is the expansive Grand Mosque, which can accommodate as many as 4 million worshippers. Its focal point is the Kaaba, the cube swathed in black silk with gold calligraphy at the center. The holiest mosque in Islam, this is where pilgrims perform the Umrah, by donning the appropriate attire and performing prescribed steps like the tawaf, walking around the Kaaba 7 times and strolling between the hills of Safa and Marwa 7 times. If you have any questions about the steps, ask your travel agent for a pamphlet or pick up a book before you go. B. Hajj. The annual Hajj pilgrimage takes place in the Grand Mosque and at other sites around Makkah over 5 days in the month of Dhul Hijjah and is typically booked as a package with guides to lead you through the full itinerary of rituals and prayers. During the rest of the year, most of the sites remain empty, so it's well worth hiring a car to take you to see some of these significant landmarks without any crowds: the plains of Arafat, the valley of Muzdalifah, and the Jamarat, where the final ritual of the Hajj takes place. C. Museums. Makkah has a host of fascinating, intimate museums that shed light on the city's history as the birthplace of Islam and a crossroads for travelers from all over the world for centuries. The exhibition of the 2 holy mosques guides visitors through the construction and many phases of the Masjid al-Haram in Makkah as well as the Masjid an-Nabawi in Medina. Browse intricate marble arches, reclaimed wooden doors and much more, saved and restored from previous iterations of the mosques. You'll have to do some wrangling to get permission to visit the Kiswa Museum next door, though it's still well worth the effort to see where the Kiswa, the 670-kilogram black silk cloth draped on the Kaaba, is made by hand, and woven with calligraphic inscriptions done in threads made from real gold and silver. At the Makkah Museum, set in the opulent Al-Zahir Palace, you can learn about the region's pre-Islamic history, dating back to ancient rock art, and see some early Islamic coins from Byzantine, Abbasid and Umayyad dynasties as well as rare copies of centuries-old Qurans and other important texts. 2. A majestic and historic destination. Medina is one of Islam's 2 holiest cities, making it a key destination for millions of pilgrims traveling to Saudi Arabia for Hajj or Umrah. The city is centered around Al-Masjid an-Nabawi, also known as the Prophet's Mosque, which was constructed by the Prophet himself and is also where he is buried. Medina is where the Prophet Muhammad lived and taught after the migration from Makkah in 622 AD, called Hijra. This year is so important in the history of Islam that it marks the start of the Islamic calendar. Although the city's name is usually written as Medina in English, its full name is Al-Madina al-Munawwara, meaning the Enlightened City. because of the city's pivotal role in the Prophet Muhammad's life, making a trip to Medina is a lifelong dream for many Muslims. When in Medina, go and explore. A. Al-Masjid an-Nabawi, the Prophet's Mosque. The final resting place of the Prophet Muhammad is in this stunning 10-minaret mosque, which can accommodate 1 million visitors and is open 24 hours. The Prophet's tomb is located under the mosque's only green dome, in its southeastern corner. After his arrival in Medina, the Prophet Muhammad helped construct the mosque, originally an open-air building, which has since been expanded numerous times by subsequent city rulers. It became the first building in the Arabian Peninsula with electric lights, which were installed in 1909. The area between the minbar and the Prophet Muhammad's tomb is known as Rawda ash-Sharifa, or the Noble Garden, which is one of the gardens of paradise. Tradition says that prayers uttered here are never rejected. B. Quba Mosque. On the migration from Makkah to Medina in 622, the Prophet Muhammad and his followers stopped in the village of Quba and put down the foundation stone of the world's first mosque. Worshippers have gathered here ever since, though the current building is a more recent construction. Once outside the boundaries of Medina, the mosque and the surrounding area have been fully absorbed by the city, and Quba Mosque sees a steady stream of visitors. Nearby Quba City Market sells dates, perfumes and other local specialties. C. Mount Uhud, a major pilgrimage site. Mount Uhud is the place where Muslim forces led by the Prophet Muhammad battled troops from Makkah. The mountain rises about 3,500 feet 1,077 meters, and it can be climbed to better observe the battlefield. Nearby is the Uhud Martyrs Cemetery, where 85 of the fallen Muslim soldiers are buried. Mount Uhud is northeast of Medina's city center. 3. Experience the best of winter in Saudi. Take a winter walk. Yes, that's us right. Saudi is not only all desert and hot country. Over the years winter is being enjoyed and it gets so cold. One of the most magical parts of winter is stepping outside to inhale the season's brisk air. In Saudi, winter is celebrated, a time to cool off, camp and, of course, hike. Average winter temperatures are in the teens, but visitors might be lucky enough to see snowfall in the mountains of the northern regions blanketing the slopes and desert sands. For snow enthusiasts, hiking in Saudi during winter is a different experience from hiking anywhere else in the world. Head north, near Tabuk, for the best chance to see the breathtaking stillness of shifting sands under a coat of fresh snow. Experience the magic of an Arabian winter. To experience a winter snowscape like no other, head north in Saudi. Yes, snow does fall in Saudi, particularly in the mountains of the northern regions. Enjoy views of frosted shrubs and blanketed mountain peaks and watch camels shuffling through winter's magical flurries. When snow falls in Saudi, the excitement among locals is contagious. Celebrate a seasonal dusting like a local by going on a mountain drive northwest of Tabuk, or saddle up an Arabian camel for a winter weather experience you won't forget. Then, choose from a wide variety of other seasonal activities, including hiking, camping and sledding. 4. Explore the outdoors, embrace nature. Saudi offers many ways to enjoy the outdoors in winter. Saudi's diverse topography is ideal for hikers, with trails ranging from meandering to steep. And the cooler winter temperatures make it comfortable to explore these starkly beautiful, fragile landscapes. Saudi is also home to numerous archaeological sites, which are as interesting to explore for their beauty as they are for their history, not to mention forests to wander through and animal species to discover, that you'll only see in Saudi. Hiking in Saudi National Park. Saudi offers awe-inspiring natural phenomena and exciting ways to explore its diverse terrain, making it a worthy spot on any outdoor enthusiast's bucket list. Whether on a strenuous hike across rugged mountains or an easy stroll around a verdant wadi, cooler temperatures provide the opportunity to see unique seasonal landscapes comfortably by foot. For an array of options for hikers of all levels, check out the ideas below. Don't forget to pack the sunscreen, yes, even in winter. Advanced hike. Jabal Sada, in Asir National Park near Aba, is thought to be Saudi's tallest peak. It soars over 3,000 meters and offers many climbing, hiking and camping spots to choose from. Seasoned hikers can take the trail down the peak, but there's also a large walkway near the summit for strolling. Scenic stroll, Al-Asa Oasis offers travelers the opportunity to walk among picturesque springs, wells, canals and farmland. The UNESCO World Heritage Site features traces of settlements dating back to the Neolithic period. Up for more. 5. Saudi scent. What are oud fragrance? No visit to the kingdom is complete without a whiff of oud. This warm, woody scent, also known as aoud or oud, is derived from the heart of the agar or aquilaria tree. When the heartwood becomes infected with mold, it produces a dark, oily, scented resin known as oud. It is sweet and sharp, and, because of its scarcity and how long it takes to produce the resin, about 300 years, it is very pricey. The annual oud market earns around $6 billion United States dollars, which is why it is sometimes referred to as liquid gold. Fortune has reported that it can cost 5,000 United States dollars per pound. A. Oud in Saudi Arabia. Both oud resin and the oil distilled from it figure prominently in Saudi life. In every typical Saudi house, you'll find a tola, small bottle, or several of oud, says Abdullah Bahabri, founder of the fragrance company Nota Nota. Oud wood may also be given as a gift at weddings and engagements. In fact, it is customary to include a beautifully shaped piece of oud wood in the gift box presented to the parents and close relatives of the bride. During Eid, it is common to burn oud wood chips, a practice called bukhor, and let the fragrance fill the house while receiving visitors. During the Hajj, when Muslim pilgrims from around the world come to Makkah and Medina, they will also encounter the scent of oud, which is burned in the Great Mosque. Small packets of oud chips are a common souvenir to bring home from the Hajj. B. Where does oud come from? Owing to its widespread use and multifunctionality, some even believe oud oil has aromatherapeutic benefits, strengthening the body and mind. Agarwood is also known as the wood of the gods. Trade in agarwood and its products dates back to ancient times. Some texts even report that traders used the famous Silk Route to transport agarwood from China to the Middle East via India. Traditionally, oud came from South and Southeast Asia, India, Bangladesh, China, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia and Vietnam, and it was consumed by markets primarily in Japan and the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and United Arab Emirates. There has been an expansion both in supply centers, including Australia and Sri Lanka, and in demand, largely throughout Western Europe. The Gulf market continues to be the biggest oud importer, with people in the region using 2/3 of the oud produced in the world. Saudi Arabia alone consumes 60% of what is produced for the Gulf market. C. Oud scents. Many men and women simply wear oud as their perfume, layered on their skin or clothing. If you're looking to create scent memories from your time in the kingdom, check out Arabian Oud, Ajmal Perfumes, Nota Nota Oud, and Abdul Samad Al-Qurashi. Several prominent Western perfumers have also begun using oud in their blends, including Tom Ford Oud Wood, Giorgio Armani Privé Oud Royal, Dior Oud Ispahan and Musk Oud by Kilian. 6. Visit archaeological site. Go back in time equals in Alula, deep in the desert in Saudi's northwestern region. Visitors can play out the fantasy of being an intrepid archaeologist for a day this winter. The area offers many insights into the past via its inscriptions, tombs and rock structures. Examining these artifacts, you can discover what was considered to be important to the Dadanite, Lehianite and other civilizations. Similarly, rock formations tell the story of Saudi's ever-changing landscape. Messages from the past. Visitors can see thousands of inscriptions left behind by the early civilizations that passed through Alula. But the most impressive writings may be found on the rocks of Jabal Ikma. This site is considered to be the largest open-air library and dates as far back as the 1st millennium BC. Evidence of Antiquity. Hegra, in Alula, is the largest conserved site of Nabatean civilization south of Petra. It features well-preserved tombs with intricate facades dating to the 1st century BC. Alula's rock outcroppings are also unique evidence of the past. One of the most popular is Jabal al-Fil, or Elephant Rock. 7. Forest excursion. Into the woods. Located in the southwestern part of Saudi's Hijazi region is Al-Baha, a prime tourist attraction because of its mild climate, rich heritage and more than 40 forests. Because it is 2,500 meters above sea level, Al-Baha has moderate temperatures in summer and is cool in winter, making it an ideal place to wander through rich forests and hike, picnic or even camp. Shutterbugs get ready, as the area offers Instagram-worthy greenery, even in winter. Try zip lining. Ragadan Forest Park, in Al-Baha, was once a wilderness area but has been thoughtfully adapted for visitors, with a paved trail up into forested hills. From the top of the path, there are beautiful views of the surrounding mountains and valleys. For a thrill, consider descending via zip line. One of Al-Baha's popular forests is the Kaira Forest, which is easily accessible and ideal for cooler weather camping. Pack warmly for evenings. The location is known for its lush green agricultural terraces, which collect and store the rainwater that feeds the photogenic Kaira waterfall. 8. Wildlife watching. Walk with the animals. Saudi boasts a diverse wildlife population. Plus, more than 85,000 square kilometers of land is protected for wildlife conservation, so your chances of spotting a memorable species are high. Asir National Park and the surrounding mountains are among the top places to see animals in their habitats. But they aren't the only places. Exquisite wildlife exists in every corner of Saudi, from wild cats and wolves to humble hedgehogs. Below are 2 animals you may spot this winter season. Sea baboons. During the wet season, many Hamadryas baboons move in packs to mountainous areas, such as the Asir mountain region near Taif and Aba. Mature male baboons are easily recognizable by their long silver hair and pink faces. These creatures are highly intelligent and were once considered sacred. Admire an oryx. The Arabian oryx has horns up to 68 centimeters long and a bright white coat. Though they were once on the verge of extinction, Saudi has undertaken conservation efforts to save this mammal, which has been reintroduced into the wild in areas like the Farazan Islands, just a ferry ride from Jazan. 9. 4 Stunning Mosque. Saudi Arabia is home to the holy cities of Makkah and Medina, but a pilgrimage route around the country doesn't have to stop there. Travelers can venture to other holy, and less crowded, spots to enjoy the mosque's calm atmosphere or pray in peace and to check out other sites of historical significance. Makkah and parts of Medina are accessible only to Muslims. However, other architecturally noteworthy mosques and historic sites across the country are accessible and can provide a first-hand glimpse into the intriguing religious roots of Saudi Arabia. 1. Jawata Mosque in Al-Asa. Constructed in the early days of Islam, the ancient Jawata Mosque was built nearly 1,400 years ago, and it is thought to be the oldest mosque in the eastern Arabian Peninsula. The Bani Abd al-Qis tribe founded the mosque, and the first Friday prayers outside of Medina were held here. With plain, sand-colored mud brick walls, Jawata Mosque is surrounded by squat towers topped with rounded crenellations and appears at first glance more like a fortress, perhaps a smaller-scale model of the Masmak fort in Riyadh. The mosque was recently restored, with great care taken to match the materials used in the original construction. Inside the thick wooden plank doors, visitors will find a hall divided by walls punctuated by a series of narrow, whitewashed arches under a thatch and timber roof. Jawata Mosque is located on the northeastern outskirts of Hafuf in the village of Al-Kilabiyah. 2. Al-Raji Grand Mosque in Riyadh. Riyadh's largest mosque, the monumental Al-Raji Grand Mosque, is one of the capital city's most important Islamic institutions. The Grand Mosque is used as a place of worship, with an 18,000-person capacity in the men's hall and a 2,500-person capacity in the women's area, as well as a spot for community events. It houses 2 libraries and an educational center, and Friday prayers are translated into 7 languages and shown on digital screens for people with hearing loss. 3. Al-Raji Mosque in Hayil. Al-Raji Mosque on the edge of Hayil is a striking structure. Accented by 480-meter-high, pencil-thin minarets, this mosque opened in 2010. Its cascading series of 50 vermilion red domes sits atop a calm, cream-colored interior, which contains one of the largest chandeliers in the world. Inside, the mosque can accommodate 4,000 worshippers and an additional 3,000 outside in the peaceful courtyard. 4. Al-Rama Mosque in Jeddah, aka the Floating Mosque. Nicknamed the Floating Mosque, Al-Rama is uniquely perched atop a stack of white concrete stilts on the Red Sea, the first mosque in the world to be built over water. As the gateway to Makkah and Medina, Jeddah is often where Muslims begin their pilgrimage journeys, making the floating mosque a common stop before undertaking Hajj or Umrah. The mosque is constructed from gleaming white marble, and inside, a giant turquoise dome is ringed with 56 colorful windows and encircled with Quranic verses written in swirling Arabic script. The mihrab, decorated with intricate tiles and arabesque styling, is flanked by 2 tall stained glass windows. Even though the architecture is traditional, the floating mosque is not stuck in the past. The light and sound system is state-of-the-art. It's a combination of Islamic and modern architecture, says Samir Komasani, a Saudi tour guide who was born in Jeddah and still lives in the city. I love to be there because I feel peaceful, secure and safe, and I feel the love of God. It's a place where people come together from different cultures and nations. It's a place where I can clear my mind. Al-Rama Mosque can accommodate 2,100 worshippers, with a separate raised wooden musalla prayer hall for women. 10. Urban appeal. Visitors to Saudi in the winter will find many things to do in its urban center. Institutions such as the Tayyibat Museum offer compelling exhibits, while Saudi's bustling cafes and restaurants serve up local and international culinary delights. Looking for souvenirs? Saudi is packed with both designer shopping and regional goods. If it's music, art, dance or theater you're after, head to one of Saudi's cultural centers, or simply stroll through one of many picturesque neighborhoods. Expand your horizons. Whether you're a history buff or just love seeing the science behind how things work, Saudi offers museum goers some impressive choices. The National Museum of Saudi Arabia in Riyadh brings visitors on a journey through centuries of culture, art and history, from prehistoric times to today, while the Dar al-Madinah Museum features city models depicting Medina in different time periods. Consider the additional options below as you build your Saudi winter vacation itinerary. SciTech Technology Center. Delve into science with more than 350 interactive exhibits at the Sultan bin Abdulaziz Science and Technology Center (SciTech) in Al Khobar, near Dammam. You can catch an IMAX show, see what's under the sea in the aquarium, gaze up at the stars in the astronomical observatory and more. Tayyibat Museum. Get a glimpse into the melting pot that is Jeddah via a trip to its Tayyibat Museum. Experience 2,500 years of living history as you stroll through recreations of the traditional Hijazi architecture found in the Old City, read early manuscripts written by Arab travelers and explore Islamic history. Bonus equals a buyer's guide to Saudi. Saudi's capital, Riyadh, is no stranger to designer brands. But look past the city's sprawling malls, and you'll find trendy concept stores, including shops like Pattern and Personage, that offer creative clothing collections, home furnishings and offbeat decor by local designers. Take advantage of the cooler winter temperatures by wandering through the souks and markets for traditionally Saudi souvenirs. Not sure where to start? Riyadh is home to many haute couture designers. Alexander McQueen, Burberry and Cartier are among the names found at the upmarket Centria Mall, while Riyadh Gallery mixes high street outposts with international labels and also has Taiba Souk, the city's gold and diamond market, just next door. Sip Kahwa in Riyadh. Riyadh is now home to some of Saudi's most fashionable cafes, places where bearded baristas serve gourmet coffee with a backstory so deep it needs its own biography, and brunches fit for a king on festive platters. Consider visiting Elixir Bun, Al-Masa Cafe, Dow Bistro and Five Elephants. Immerse yourself in Saudi customs. Museums are only part of the picture when it comes to Saudi's cultural offerings in the winter. From traditional sword dancing to the open-air art installations, you'll find things worth seeing in every corner of Saudi. Though sometimes the best way to soak up local culture is simply to stroll through special neighborhoods, like the Al-Muftaha Art Village in Aba. Not sure where to begin to get your fill of music, dance, theater and art? Open-air performances. Taif Souk Okaz hosts poetry recital competitions and exhibitions for arts and crafts, both contemporary and traditional, throughout the winter. Its cultural offerings, often performed after dark, also include extravagant dance shows. King Abdulaziz Center for World Culture. When this center, known as ITHRA, opened in 2017, it became as iconic for its design as it did for being Saudi's first all-cultural destination. Inside, you'll find a museum, theater, library, cinema, exhibition galleries, ideas lab and knowledge tower. Get your fill of local flavor. Saudi's culinary scene is diverse, delicious and booming. From Saudi kahwa to international cuisine, there's something to suit every appetite during a winter visit. Consider swinging by the central fish market in Jeddah for truly local eats. Fishermen offload their hauls onto more than 100 stalls. Visitors may enjoy the full-service offering that sees fish cleaned, prepped and cooked just hours after being caught. But for those preferring more of a sit-down experience. Today, huge expatriate communities have made Jeddah a cultural melting pot where nearly every culinary whim can be satisfied. Savor Pakistani curries at Makkah restaurant, dig into Brazilian cuisine at Spears, get a taste of Indonesian fare at Wang Solo, or grab Anatolian eats at Turquoise. The kingdom adopts the development planning approach in mapping out its socio-economic policies and programs within the framework of comprehensive 5-year plans that involve 2 basic complementary roles: directive role concerned about state institutions and the public sector, and an indicative role concerned about the private sector and public sector, citizens and expatriates at large. Do you know any new facts about Saudi? Put your comment below, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you on my video. Ma salama.